Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the full review for this Mi 11X, and I've been using this smartphone as my primary smartphone for the last 2 weeks. So I'll give you my impressions. What do I feel about this? We'll divide it in between two parts. What did I like? That's the pros, and what are the things and the online things that I noticed with this device. And I'll give you a broad summary before we start. Overall, I would say it's a very good smartphone for the price because of the processor. That's a Snapdragon 870. But again, there are some niggling issues. For example, if you're a business sort of a person and take a lot of calls, then I would not recommend this. And even if you are expecting a lot with the camera, I feel the camera is also a very average camera on this one. But apart from that, overall it's a nice device. But if you want to find out the nitty-gritty details, the exact pros and the exact cons, so continue watching. And I've already posted the unboxing video of this one, so watch that video to get a general overview about this device. So let's start with the pros. What did I like with this device? And the thing is that I am using this in the gray color. Again, guys, don't go for the gray color. This is a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. But what I like is that Xiaomi is actually using a 6.67 inch AMOLED screen on this one, and many of you have asked me about the AMOLED screen on this one, and I have to say the AMOLED screen is actually good, not bad. I did not have any issues with this one even when I was watching videos and stuff, even in low lighting. Yes, if you completely close the lights and lower the brightness, there is some tinting, but in normal usage I did not find an issue, at least on my unit. I now used it for about 2 weeks and screen is actually good. The only nitpicking that I have about the screen is that Xiaomi says that the peak brightness on this one is 1300 nits. That's pretty bright. But I don't know from where they're getting that value. Definitely, it's not that super bright. In fact, outdoors when you go, yes, it is visible. It's not like it's not visible, but it's not that bright, I would say. And I would say outdoor, it feels like a 800, 850 nit screen. So daily usage, fine. But in terms of max brightness, it's not super bright that I have noticed. The next thing is, as it's an AMOLED screen, I like the fact that this always on works perfectly on this smartphone. I've been actually testing it mostly with this always on screen, and that works very well. Moving to the fingerprint scanner, it's this side mounted fingerprint scanner, and I like this one. It's very responsive, guys. And you can even customize some stuff with this. For example, if you just double tap it, I've configured it to open the flashlight, so you can customize a little bit. So that way it was nice. Now moving to another small thing is that I feel the haptic vibration motor is calibrated pretty well on this device. In fact, I like the haptic feedback that you get on this one. Another small thing, and this is important, many reviewers miss this. How is the phone in terms of in-hand feel, ergonomics that we call? And here I have to say, Xiaomi has actually done a pretty good job. I was not expecting that. The phone is very comfortable to hold. The weight balance is done very well. It does not feel that heavy. So in that area, I would say they have done actually a pretty good job. Overall, I like the build quality, apart from one niggling issue. I'll talk about that later. So very comfortable to hold in a hand, and the weight balance has been done very well. It neither feels too, what do you say, light or heavy. And next thing is regarding the call quality. The earpiece quality is very good on this one, and also in terms of network reception, the network reception was very good. Currently still my Airtel and my GSM are in this one, and I have to say network reception was above average on this one, and the earpiece is also good. But there is a major con. I'll talk about that in the later part of the video. Next thing is regarding the speakers. This one does have stereo speakers, and I have to say the speakers are pretty loud. For example, I'll block this area. It's coming from this side. It's not exactly 50-50% in terms of speakers. Again, see, this is the random MIUI bug. Sometimes the touch gets a little bit low. So there are some MIUI bugs with this one. That's what you expect with MIUI. But overall, speakers I would say pretty good, and it actually gets pretty loud. Only thing is that I would say here for the bottom speaker, the volume level it comes out as about 60%, and from this earpiece it comes about 40%, but still it gives a decent stereo experience, and it's actually pretty loud. I mostly didn't have to keep it at the maximum volume level. Most of the time I was keeping it at about 80%. The next thing is regarding the battery life on this one. It has that 4500 odd milliamp hour battery. And like most Xiaomi phones, the battery life on this one is actually really good. Let me actually share some screenshots. I've saved it, and as you can see, this is about 4 hours 49 minutes. It says close to about 5 hours, but look at the standby time. And guys, this was with that always on screen. Voice calls were about 2 hours, screen on time 4 hours 49 minutes, so a lot of voice calls that day, and still 27 hours away from the charger. That means over a day, and this is the experience that I was getting, almost about 1 to 1.5 days worth of battery life, and this is with always on. If I remove always on, then I was getting even better battery life. This is again with always on. Next day again, as you can see, 1.5 days, that's 37 hours away from the charger. And yes, regarding wideband L1 support, it does support that, and even has HDR10, as you can see. And again, as you can see, 1.5 days easily I was getting in terms of battery life. Okay, this one was interesting. This one actually, here I disabled this always on screen. By default it is actually disabled, so this does not come. So when this was disabled, as you can see, I got a screen on time of about 8 hours 4 minutes, which is actually very good, but still about 1 day of usage. So that way I would say the battery life is good. Did not have to worry in terms of battery life. Most users, it will easily give you about 1 day worth of battery life, and if you're sort of a light user, about 1.5 days, guys. And this was with both the SIMs, not with single SIM. And one small thing that I noticed with this device, again, you have to appreciate when things are good. The Wi-Fi reception on this one is very good. Of course it supports Wi-Fi 6. This is my here I have the Airtel fiber, so let's run the speed test and see what are the speeds that we are getting. And as you can see, very good Wi-Fi speeds. Not only speeds, but even the reception, the range that I was getting on this smartphone was actually really good. So in terms of Wi-Fi, they have calibrated the Wi-Fi very well. So let's just get out of this one, touching about 500. Another thing that I noticed is that the Wi-Fi calling is supported very well on this one. For example, in this particular area, the Airtel signal is almost nil every time, and many calls just get if you don't have proper Wi-Fi calling. But here, even in this area, using Wi-Fi calling, I was able to get good calls. So Wi-Fi calling implementation has been done well on this smartphone. The next thing is regarding gaming. Many of you ask, I did play Call of Duty on this one. I played it for about 30 odd minutes, guys, and it played fine, no issues. But yes, the back area was getting a little bit hot to touch. I wouldn't say hot is not the word, pretty warm to touch with extended gaming, but that's sort of normal. So guys, these were the good things that I liked about the device. Now let's move to the cons, and these might be deal breakers for some of you. And the biggest con that I have with this device, in the past 2 weeks I was frustrated about that one the most. Every day I felt like removing my SIM, and that was due to the proximity sensor. The proximity sensor issue is even present on this smartphone, and if you take long calls more than 5-6 minutes, you will be frustrated. Many times the screen gets clicked, it goes to mute, etc. And this was happening almost about 90% of the time on long calls. So that is a thing that really bugs me. So if you're a person who takes a lot of voice calls and long voice calls, then I will not recommend you this phone. I don't know if Xiaomi can fix that with an update, but as of now, it's a real issue on this smartphone. That's the biggest deal breaker that I have with this one. The next thing is, overall the build quality is nice, but the volume button has a lot of replay. I haven't noticed such shoddy quality even in mid-range smartphones. So I don't know what is Xiaomi doing in terms of quality control. And I checked with some users, it's not just me, many of the users, the volume button has a lot of play towards it. So this is something that I do not like. Even this power button has a slight play, but it's not as bad as as it is on the volume button. So that is something that I do not like. They should have put in a little bit more attention, because this is not a budget range Android phone. The next thing is, again, as I've told you, in this black color, this is sort of a fingerprint magnet, and it's like a mirror. So hopefully just go for a different color if you are a person like me who does not like to use a case, because this gets really bad very quickly. Another thing that I do not like, and this is a trend with most of the Chinese smartphones in India claiming 5G. Here also they claim 5G, guys, but the 5G implementation is just 2 bands of 5G on this smartphone, and that is very limiting, I would say. So don't go for this smartphone specifically for 5G if it's your highest criteria. I just want to be very frank about it. The next thing is, in general usage, it's very snappy. The phone do not have any usage, and I like this new UI also on with Xiaomi. Left you get the Google pane and everything, and again I did not find any ads also, so that way it's nice on this one. Apart from that, Gets app and stuff, you can disable it, and the themes you can disable it. I did not get any ads or anything, and the UI is very fluid, so that way actually it is very nice. But sometimes I do notice, even with casual usage, for example just using Twitter and stuff, sometimes the handset, this back portion just gets warm for some reason. For example, today in the morning when 6:30 I woke up and I picked up the phone was warm at the back. I don't know what the hell it was doing in the background. So these are some of the bugs with MIUI. And once for example the UI, everything is working, and this actually got corrupted, and I just rebooted it and got fixed. So there are quite a bit of MIUI bugs present even on this smartphone. And again, as it's typical MIUI, there are some apps that you simply cannot uninstall. For example, the Mi Security app, the Gets app, and they take a lot of permission. So again, that is something that I do not like. This was okay with Xiaomi's, budget-oriented device, but these are sort of not budget-oriented device, but it's still almost the same MIUI. In fact, P-Bomb had made a video about MIUI. I'll link that in the description. A very nice video. Difference between MIUI on a budget phone and a premium smartphone. Very interesting video. So again, the biggest another con is that MIUI stuff. And I was expecting one more update to fix these bugs, but I did not get any update. Just one update after I got the phone. But after that, no update. When I check, as you can see, we are getting no updates. If I click, it will say no updates found on this one. So again, even the security update is April, so almost we're end of May, so I don't know how fast they will give this Android security updates also. But overall, that way, apart from these niggling bugs, it was actually the same thing. And again, one more bug, and you guys know, if you have used a Xiaomi device, this is across most of the Xiaomi device, is the RAM management, and the RAM management is again bad even on this phone. Many of the apps, for example Truecaller, etc., will be booted out of the memory, so don't expect great RAM management. In fact, once I had an issue, this was very peculiar. I got a WhatsApp message that they have emailed me, and I told them I didn't get any notification. So when I opened Gmail, then only the mail got downloaded. So it is booting out quite a few apps. So if you rely on a particular app for notification, it might just kill it after some time. So you can be in a fix. And again, some MIUI bugs also I noticed with this one. For example, when you get SMS and stuff, you get it over here, so you can quickly reply it. But even if you reply and send it many times, though it says it's sent, it simply gets lost. So there are bugs with MIUI present even on this smartphone. So you got to be aware of that. And lastly, I completely forgot, if we talk about the camera, the rear camera is that 48 megapixel, then 8 megapixel is that ultra wide, and you have even macro, and front is 20 megapixel. And here are some of the sample shots with the rear facing camera. And in outdoor conditions, when there is a lot of good light, the camera performance is very good. But when the lighting falls a little bit, and even in average lighting conditions, I have to say the camera performance on this smartphone was simply not that good. In fact, I would say if camera is your high priority, then even the Redmi Note 10 Pro series, that's selling for about 16,000, does a far better job in terms of camera compared to this one. So camera, I don't know, they have intentionally crippled the camera on this one. I have to say the camera performance is very, very average on this smartphone. So, but still, I would say, considering the price of this one, though this variant that I have, that 6GB variant, MRP is 30,000, but as of now, I was checking Amazon India. I'll leave the link. You get 2,000 rupees coupon discount, and if you have a HDFC card, you get further 2.5 thousand discount. So works out to what, about 25,500 or something. And for that price, it's a very good phone. If you do not take a lot of calls because of the proximity sensor issue, and if camera is not a very high priority in for you. So overall, I like this phone, but it's difficult to recommend it to everyone. I don't know about the proximity sensor issue. If they can solve it with what is a software update, it'll be great. Else, if you take a lot of calls, you will be annoyed. In fact, I'm going to right away remove my SIM from this one because of the proximity sensor issue. It was creating problem for me every day. Anyways, guys, this was my review of the Mi 11X. If you guys are still not subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Take care. Catch you later.